Hi everyone, I want to make another video which may help you avoid your social isolation that you were experiencing during this COVID-19 crisis. This can be used by bridge players or in fact by anyone who just wants to have a meeting with a bunch of friends, and it can be done over the phone. I'm only going to show you how to use the audio conferencing, so in other words listening to each other's voices, but it is also very easy using Webex to set up a video conference whereby you can all see one another either via the webcam on your phone or the webcam on your PC, or if you're using a tablet or phone, the camera on your phone. So you can do video conferencing as well. You can look into that yourself. But let's do a background on how you can use audio conferencing via Webex. So what you need to do is open your browser and go to www.webex.com. When you are there, you click on Start for Free. And you set yourself up an account. All you basically need from that, this is free by the way, no credit card, no commitment. You put in your email address here, which I've done previously, and you click Sign Up. I won't go through that process here, but it's extremely simple. You sign up, as I did last night. You then get a messenger, an email here saying my Webex account name is my email address, and create a new password. And you click on that link and you create a new password. And I did that. And then after that, I got an email telling me I'd successfully changed my password. So you do that yourself. You're then at the point where you have a Webex account set up. So at this point, let's just start this process again, and this time I'll show you how to log in. So I've got my Webex account set up. I'm going to go back to www.webex.com and click on Sign In. And you want to sign into Webex Meetings. Webex Teams is another thing they provide, but let's just sign into Webex Meetings for now. I think you can also download the Webex Meetings and Webex Team app to your phone. So I'm going to sign in, and I remembered my password on this browser, so I don't have to enter my password, but if I hadn't done that, I have to enter my password. And so now I'm in, and I am able to schedule a meeting is what I want to do. So what I want to do is dial in, and I'm going to call this Alex's Test Webex Meeting. Now, for some reason, it seems to default to a different time zone to the one that we are on in Sydney, Australia. So just default your time zone to where you are located in the world. For instance, if you're on the southern and eastern states of Australia, you're going to select this time zone. And I'm going to say that I want this Webex call to commence at, let's say, 3:30 p.m. today. 3:30 p.m. and I want to have a session of bridge, so I'm going to make it go for 3 hours. Now, it doesn't mean that your meeting has to go for 3 hours, but I suspect if you make the meeting short and you run over, you may get disconnected from the call. So I've said I've got a 3-hour meeting at 3:30 p.m. All I need to do now is enter the names of all the people that I wish to attend the meeting. I have an alternate Gmail account that I use that nobody should try calling me, emailing me on, by the way. Please use the Yahoo account. But I'm going to invite my email address, and I'm also going to invite some other people. Nice to have Bill Gates there. See if he wants to come. Let's pretend his email address is bill@microsoft.com, because Bill Gates is a good bridge player. Warren Buffett of Berkshire Hathaway, I think the second richest man in the world, is also a very good bridge player. So we'll invite Warren. Of course, I'm just making these email addresses up. I don't wish to type up a real email address of my friend, because that will reveal their email address to the world. And I might also invite, I'm not sure if the Queen plays, but let's invite her as well. Okay, so we've invited 3 players to my meeting. And all you need to do now is schedule the meeting. So I've scheduled a meeting in my time zone at 3:30 p.m. Now, if one of your friends is in another time zone, I believe when they see the invitation, it will adjust to their time zone automatically. I'm going to schedule that meeting. I could have made it a recurring meeting if I wanted to by clicking on that box, and it would have then said, okay, well, does it recur every day or every week or every month? But anyway, let's just make this a one-off meeting. So here we have my meeting. Now let's go and check my inbox. This is my inbox for my host account. Let's just reload that. Okay. Webex meeting scheduled. So I've got an email telling me that I'm the host for this Webex meeting. When it's time, start your Webex meeting here. It gives me a meeting number, a meeting password, and a host key. Now, the meeting password and the host key is all just about if you wish to connect using your webcam. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to only assume that we are going to be talking over the phone. Okay? So it's said to me, am I going? Well, yeah, I'm the host. I want to go. Yes, I'm going to the meeting. Absolutely. So I can click on that. Yes, I'm going. And now I'm just going to sit here and wait for the meeting to happen. Of course, this is not going to happen now because it's in several hours' time, but I'll show you the process. So that's the email I got as the host. Now let's go to one of the recipients, and you can see that here's my Gmail account, and I have an invitation because I was here. I've sent it to my Gmail account, as in my Gmail account is one of the recipients, one of the other people in my meeting. And again, I can indicate whether I'm going to go or not. So I'm going to say yes. Okay. So at this point, the meeting is set up, ready to start. Now, all this means is that we have a telephone line available to all the recipients for them to dial in. So all my recipient has to do at the relevant time at 3:30 p.m. on the 27th of March, which is today, all they have to do is dial in using any phone. They can use a home landline, they can use a mobile phone. Here is the call-in number. Now you'll notice it's a Singapore number. I don't want to ring Singapore. So let's have a, by clicking on this link here, I can see all the different call-up numbers that I can ring to call into this meeting. So as you can see, if you're in Australia, there's a Sydney number there, there's a Sydney number there. There's a Perth number, a Melbourne number, and a Brisbane number. So you can ring on any of these numbers and get in. Now, someone told me earlier today that there was a problem with one of the numbers. I usually use this number, by the way. But for instance, if you were able to, on your phone, you had a plan that allowed you to call, let's say, the UK, you could try calling the UK number, right? For instance, my phone plan allows me to call UK landlines. I think that's a UK landline. I could call in there. So if you have a problem with the number not working, try a number of a country that is currently asleep. So currently the UK, most people would be asleep at 3:30 p.m. probably, and because it's very early in the morning their time, and so you could try dialing on that number. So all you are going to do when the meeting invitation comes up is you are going to dial the number that you've chosen. So in my case, I would probably start by just phoning a local Sydney number, 9037 0069, and a voice will come on and she will say, welcome to Webex. Please enter your meeting number or your access code, and you enter this number followed by the hash key. So the hash key on your keyboard is this key here. It's the one above the 3. Sometimes Americans refer to this as the pound key, but in Australia we tend to call it the hash, or I call it the hash key. So you enter your meeting number followed by that character, that funny little sharp sign character, and she will then probably say enter your participant ID. Again, this is totally unimportant. If you don't know it or it hasn't been issued to you, you just issue another hash. And that's it. Then you're on the call. And as others join in, you'll hear them join. It'll give a little beep as others join. And if all my participants join, well, we would hear one another. And we could talk amongst ourselves as per being in a bridge club. That's it. That's all there is to it. So I think that's the end of the video. So the idea is that you could do this whilst you're using bridgebase.com to play. You could have the phone line open, probably best to use a headset or put your phone on speaker, so that your hands are not occupied, and you can play bridge, and it means that you can discuss with your friends as though you were sitting at the table. For instance, you could decide to alert the way you alert in a bridge club, which is that when someone's partner makes a bid, they are the alerter. So if I'm south and north makes an artificial bid, I will say alert onto the chat line, the Webex chat line, and we can do alerting and other conversation that way. Of course, normal rules would apply in terms of not revealing to your partner what any information they shouldn't have. But as I say, this could be used for a morning coffee club or any group of friends who would like to meet and have a talk over the phone. As I say, have a go also at downloading the Cisco Webex Teams and the other Cisco app that I mentioned earlier. I can't remember what it's called now. Webex Teams and the other Webex. Let me see if I can remember. Anyway, look, I'm just rabbiting on now. So you can muck around. My intention here was only to show you what could be done. Oh, other thing I will do here is if I wanted to, for instance, edit my meeting, I've decided, for instance, that I want to do something with this meeting. Well, first I could cancel the meeting. Presumably that would send an email out to everyone that the meeting had been cancelled. Or I could edit the meeting. Now notice also here that this meeting is showing up as happening at 12:30 p.m. in Singapore. Now to me this is a bug in the software. I'm not in Singapore. It should be telling me in my local time zone when the meeting has occurred. So this is, I think, just a bug. But 12:30 p.m. in Singapore at UTC 8 hours is exactly the same as 3:30 p.m. in Australia, which is when I've scheduled my meeting in Australia, from 3:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. So let's pretend obviously I've wanted to cancel the meeting, I just click on that button there. But if I wanted to edit the meeting and decide that I wanted to do something with it, I could come in here and decide, well, okay, someone's told me the Queen doesn't play bridge, so I would remove her from the meeting, and I may also give the meeting a name. If I wanted to indicate that to my other attendees that the Queen can't attend, and I could even change the time of the meeting. For instance, I could now decide, okay, well the meeting's going to happen at 4:30 p.m. and I want it to actually go for 4 hours, so I could then click done, or I think done there, and then save. So I've now changed the meeting so that it's occurring at 4:30 p.m. It's going to run for 4 hours. UTC means Greenwich Mean Time, by the way. Universal Time Clock, I think, is what it stands for these days, rather than Greenwich Mean Time. And here in Australia in summer, we're 11 hours ahead of that. Again, you can see for some weird reason, it's indicated that it's happening from 1:30 to 5:30 Singapore time. So you're just going to have to get used to that. Not sure why that is. It seems to be sort of Singapore based. And if we come back to my recipient, you'll see I now have an email saying Webex meeting changed. And you see that the new name is Queen Can't Attend, and I'm able to now again indicate whether I would like to attend that meeting. And you can do things like this. You can propose a new time, stuff like that. But probably it would be simpler just to agree with your friends over a phone or email that, okay, we're going to have a meeting at 4:30 p.m. So I'm going to indicate that, yes, I'm going to attend, and probably in my inbox over here, yeah, I've got another... Oh, by the way, as a meeting organizer, I got an email saying, yeah, A.N. Kemeny or Alex, the Gmail account is attending. So as the organizer, you're kept fully up to date. The other thing I should notice is that when I did this on my wife's phone earlier today, I invited her to a meeting and she accepted on her phone. That was just a test meeting. It added the meeting to her calendar on her phone. So it's really, really clever. As soon as it saw the invitation come in, it realized, oh, this is a Webex meeting, you've been invited to a meeting, and it automatically set the calendar entry on her phone. It did also seem to provide her with a link to do a dial-in automatically, including the meeting number, that she was able to click on that. But however, that didn't work because it didn't quite construct the full phone number and the meeting access code correctly into her phone. So I would recommend that it's probably just easiest to write down these 9 digits on a piece of paper, and then just again go and decide what phone number you're going to dial in on. Okay, I've chosen to use this number, dial this number, and then access and then go back to the 9-digit meeting number over here and enter that when you're on your phone. By the way, for those who aren't aware, the plus means that the next digits are a country code. Plus 61 simply means Australia. Plus 44 means United Kingdom. Plus 1 means United States and Canada. So for instance here, Canada, you can see that's a Canada number. So I think I'm all done. Have a play with it. It's really, really easy. Okay, thanks. And thanks for watching, and bye.